Hey pen people. So today what I want to talk about is the new planner I just got. I just got the Leuchtturm1917 weekly planner for 2023. And I know it might be just a little bit late to be talking about planners for this year since it's already started, and hopefully all of you already have a planner for this year if you plan on getting one. But if you're like me, you tend to procrastinate getting a planner. So lucky enough for me, this came on December 31st. So I've had a few days to take it for a spin. And if you haven't bought a planner yet, hopefully this can help. If not, maybe you can log this information away for 2024. So this is the one I got, and this is actually kind of an upgrade for me because before this I was using these. This is my 2021, this is my 2022, with a sticker from my daughter. They are by Tulofa, just a brand I found on Amazon. I'll put a link to their website if you want to check them out. I bought these because they were cheap, and oh my gosh, they were surprisingly good with fountain pens. The paper's nothing fancy, but no bleed, no problems like that. And they were really cheap. So if you just want something cheap, these are great. I recommend them. But I decided I wanted to try upgrading, try something a little bit fancier. So I got this. I did also look at Rhodia's, and I looked at the Made by Endless planner. But this one I went with just simply because of their formatting. I just like the format, the layout more than the others. The others looked great as far as they're good brands and stuff, but the layout of this one is just one that seemed to fit more with my tastes. So let's flip the camera and take a look. Okay, so let's take a look at this Leuchtturm1917 weekly planner for 2023. And if you're familiar with Leuchtturm, this is fairly similar to their standard notebooks as far as the construction, materials, all that stuff, very similar. So I've got these right here. And of course, I just got this, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to hold up, it's going to be durable, because these have been pretty darn durable. I haven't had many problems. So I put this dust jackety thing back on just for demonstration purposes. I don't actually keep this thing on here. Okay, so here's the basic layout. We'll take another closer look at that in a second when we open up the planner. But it has your full week on the left-hand page, and then it has a full page on the right that's just ruled lines, just for notes, to-do lists, other stuff like that. So kind of nice. There's a lot of room to just express your plans in free form, I guess, as well as assign things to a particular day of that week. Okay, so this is an A5, 12 calendar months. It's a weekly planner. They also have a monthly planner. I don't know if they have a daily, but I saw the monthly. So if you do end up going with one of these, make sure you get the right one, or else you could end up with a completely different layout. Let's see. So it has an extra booklet. I thought this was really interesting. If you open this up to the inside here, so it has this pocket, just like a lot of notebooks of this variety, but it comes with this smaller notebook just kind of slid into that pocket, and I thought that was really interesting. Also comes with some labels. That's pretty typical of Leuchtturm, so those can come in handy. I've never actually used them. I just kind of have a whole big deck of these things sitting around, but I'll probably use them someday for something. Anyway, this slides out. It's kind of this optional appendix to your planner. So a place for your name or whatever on the front here, and then it has this. I'm not 100% sure what this is for. It has the months along the top, along with a slot for each day of the month. I wonder if it's some kind of goal tracker. If it is, it's extra because it also has tracker stuff in here. So maybe this is just extra in case you want another one. I'm not really sure. I'm not really a planner person, guys. I've learned a lot actually just shopping for this planner. But anyway, so it does that for each month of the year. And then we get into these alphabetized tabs with just ruled pages. I guess there's a little bit of a split column thing here. So a little bit of an address book maybe, which is kind of an odd thing, I think, in the 21st century. But I don't know, maybe people still use those? I don't know. Anyway, but that could come in handy. So this is fun. I I actually just kind of removed it and set it aside. I don't have a use for this yet, but because it's kind of a notebook with a somewhat thick cover, I could use this as a standalone thing at some future point in time. So I'll just hang on to it for now. Okay, let's flip this over. We talked about the labels, we talked about the pocket. It has 2 bookmarks, fairly standard for Leuchtturm, and also a number of other similar notebook brands. It has 80-gram paper. The paper, in my opinion, is not as nice as Clairefontaine or Rhodia, or I guess Endless either. I just got an Endless notebook for Christmas. I've barely touched it because I'm still trying to finish up another one, but from the brief test I did, it feels pretty nice, nicer than this. But it's still nice. It's still definitely an upgrade from like your just regular kind of notebook paper or whatever. So I do like the paper. It's just not like the highest end of luxury paper. It's just kind of like middle class luxury paper. I don't know, something like that. And of course it's acid free. So that's just kind of a given, I guess. Oh, also, this is the Rising Sun color. It's a nice light, mild mango-y orange, but there are lots of other color options as well, which is one thing that's really fun about Leuchtturm. They make sure that you have a really good variety of colors to choose from. Okay, now let's open this thing up and take a look inside. I'm going to take off this dust jackety thing because I don't need it anymore. Okay, so when you first get your planner, it comes with a bunch of info, branding stuff, mostly just marketing, I guess. Oh, there's your different kind of planners. Yeah, they do have a daily, weekly. Okay, I guess I got the weekly planner and notebook. They also have just a standard weekly planner. Oh, if I had known that, I might have checked out that one, but oh well. I'm enjoying the one I have. And then a week planner, apparently. So a weekly planner notebook, and a week planner. Interesting. Okay, anyway, so just a bunch of mostly marketing stuff. Okay, so you open it up, spot for your name, contact info, whatever. I'm going to put my contact info there, but I haven't yet because I knew I was going to be showing this on YouTube, and I'm sorry, but I'm not putting my phone number on YouTube. So, okay, flip it over, and we have just an overview of 2022. And of course, this is a 2023 planner. So there's 2023, and here is 2024. So it gives you an overview of 3 years. Like I said, I'm not really a planner person, so this doesn't, I don't really know how I'd use that. And then we have this. It's like the year with like by week, I guess, or day by day. It has some lunar information, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure how I would use this exactly, but it's there if you find it useful. And that's one of the funny things about planners is I feel like different companies just stuff them full of features, and you're only going to use like half of them. But they put them all in there because they might not know which half you want to use, so they just put it in there. So I feel like you end up one way or the other carrying around all of these useless pages, but they are there in case you find them useful. So every day of the year on a line there. International holidays, big grid of them here. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so here is the project plan, aka goal tracker kind of thing. And you can see I've already started to use this and I've already started to slack off, but that's okay. I'm going to hop back on the bandwagon and keep this moving. One thing I like about this is it is a plan for 2023, but it goes monthly. So if you plan out some goals for January and it's just not working out, you can reevaluate and change it for February. Or you can change your goals entirely and put new ones. So I like that. It works as a New Year's resolution kind of thing, or as a monthly plan or goal setting kind of thing. So I like that a lot. So next up we have just the regular layout for your day-to-day, week-to-week stuff. And I'm flipping to a week in the future so you don't see like this whole spread just full of my mess. So I've already written a couple of things on this spread, and there's a couple of things I want to show you about this. You can see, again, every day of the week on the left, a full blank page, well, not blank, a full ruled page on the right. Instead of page numbers, it has the week, so week 2 of the year there. I like all the space. It's nice and open. If you have a ton of appointments day to day, this might feel a little bit cramped, but otherwise, I really like this. I think that having this space to jot notes or to-do lists helps to keep this from getting too cluttered, which is nice. One thing you will notice though is that the ruling is pretty tight. So if you like to write big, you might find this a little bit claustrophobic. It's taken a little bit of getting used to for me, but it's not too bad. I do like it. But just keep that in mind. They really try to pack those lines in there. Just for comparison, here's my new Endless Recorder notebook. And those lines, I don't actually know how many millimeters those lines are, 7 or 8. So you can get a feel for how small these lines are. Maybe somewhere around 5 millimeters. Okay, another thing you will notice is all the ghosting. You can see a lot of what I've written on the previous spread coming through. It's not bleeding, it's just kind of the shadow of that writing showing through because the paper is very thin. That thinness does come with a benefit. This planner is very, very thin. It's very compact, so it's very easy to put in a bag, backpack, purse, whatever. It's very portable, which is one thing that I like about this one compared to the planner that Endless makes. Looking at that one, it's chunky, it is thick. It's not a deal breaker. I may try that planner in the future, but I do appreciate how slender this thing is. It just adds a level of usability to it, I think. So there is a benefit, but that thin paper does come at a cost. You can see a lot of what you've written on the previous page, so it doesn't bug me. I'm used to it. Now, it does also, if we flip back here to, let's see. Yeah, let's look at this. So, especially here on this spread, 2024, the faint, because this ink isn't black, it's more of a gray, and so it's kind of faint, and because of that, it becomes difficult to read because of what's on the other side. It's like you're trying to read both at the same time and kind of separate the information. So I feel like the ink could have been darker to make that more usable, but again, I'm not really a planner person, not really planning on using all this extra stuff. I got it for this. This is what I'm here for. The plus side is, even though the paper is thin, it handles ink very, very well. I haven't noticed any feathering, any bleed through at all. Actually, I've noticed a decent amount of shading and saturation in the ink color. I don't know if it's more than usual compared with other fountain pen friendly paper, but your ink looks good on these pages. The other thing, and you can see it a little bit here, is some smudging when I wrote this down and then just closed the planner and smudged this ink over onto this page. And that's been happening to me quite a bit with this notebook. And I think that it's just because I'm used to these cheaper planners that have more absorbent paper. I'm used to being able to just write a quick note and slam my planner closed really quickly, and it's not a big deal. But with this less absorbent, more ink-friendly paper, you have to be a little more intentional about letting your ink dry before closing it. And I did some tests. They weren't very scientific, and it doesn't seem like the dry time is longer than your typical fountain pen friendly paper, but it is longer than your typical day-to-day cheap paper. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. But if you're into fountain pens, chances are you're used to this kind of thing with paper, and it's not going to be a big deal for you. Okay, so those are the pros and cons of this notebook as I see them. Let's just do a quick flip through and make sure we get to any of the features here at the end. So we get to December, and Okay, so there's the end of 2023, and you will see here it has a number of blank pages. Not a whole heck of a lot, honestly. Oh, there they are. Okay, it is a heck of a lot, never mind. I don't know how many that is, 20-ish pages maybe, of just completely blank paper. So if you want to draw pictures, that's awesome. If you just have notes of things you want to keep track of and carry with you that don't belong to a particular week, that can be nice. And it is perforated. I'm not sure if all of it is. Let's see. That one's not. That one's not. And that one is. Okay, so you have a few that are not perforated, and then you have a number that are. So that can be nice too. You have some spare paper you can just rip out and hand somebody a note or something if you need to. I have noticed, okay, this is another con now that I'm looking at it. Can you see the binding here? It looks a little bit off. So it's a little bit open here, and then the glue kind of creeps up onto the spread and kind of sticks the pages together a little too high up. And I've noticed that in a couple of other spots. Let's see. It's mostly fine, but I have noticed as I flip through, sometimes I feel like I need to pry the pages apart just along the spine. So maybe there are some inconsistencies in the spine, and it could just be my notebook. I haven't noticed that with any of these other Leuchtturm notebooks that I've used. So could just be a fluke, but something to keep in mind. But anyway, overall, I really like this planner so far. It is really nice. It's kind of this nice, cozy space to plan out my life. It feels nice. It feels like something I want to use, something I enjoy using. So yeah, I highly recommend it. If the layout works for you, then go for it. And if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.